Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLamey, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLamey, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. Hey, I'm back. Mark R. LePage, the founder of EntreArchitect and the host of EntreArchitect Podcast. I'm back in your feed in between episodes to introduce yet another new podcast from Gābl Media. Last week, I shared an introduction to Practice Disrupted with Evelyn Lee and Janine Chastain. I hope you had a chance to listen and subscribe to that powerful new show. Evelyn and Janine will be inviting guests and sharing their thoughts on how to remain relevant and valuable as the profession of architecture continues to evolve and change. We had a great launch on Thursday, and a new episode of Practice Disrupted is scheduled to release every Thursday. So make sure you visit GāblMedia.com and subscribe to Practice Disrupted. Today, I am back in your feed because we launched yet another new podcast at Gābl Media, our new multimedia network empowering global leaders in architecture, engineering, and construction industries. You may recognize the voice from this one. He may even sound like an old friend. Launching today at Gābl Media, the Troxel Podcast with Evan Troxel of your favorite, maybe your other favorite architecture podcast, Archispeak Podcast, Troxel Podcast, TRXL. At Troxel, Evan is pursuing his passions for learning and sharing his knowledge about architecture and how technology is changing our profession. In this special episode at EntreArchitect Podcast, this one that you're listening to right now, Evan and I talk about his passions, his purpose, and why he wanted to launch his new powerful podcast, Troxel. Evan Troxel, welcome to this special episode of EntreArchitect Podcast.
Thanks for having me, Mark. This is awesome. I'm super excited to be here. I feel the adrenaline pumping through me. Like this is the first time we're talking about this, so it's exciting.
Yeah, this is a reveal. Well, we actually haven't revealed anything yet, but we're going to.
This is just anticipatory here.
To anybody who doesn't know who Evan Troxel is, let me give you a little bit of some background, some information, an introduction. Evan Troxel is a licensed architect. He's an author. He's a designer. He's an educator, a podcaster, a musician. He's an artist, a husband, and a father. He is the co-host of Archispeak, a podcast about all things architecture that started around the same time as we did here at EntreArchitect Podcast, around, give or take, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And today, Archispeak is a member over at Gābl Media, Gābl Media Network, along with EntreArchitect and Build Your Brand and Spaces Podcast. You should go listen right now. You should go listen and subscribe to Archispeak Podcast right now over at GāblMedia.com. It's GABL Media.com. An industry-leading design and technology expert. Evan is the director of digital practice over at HMC Architects with 25 years of architecture experience. His role is to lead HMC's vision, application, and integration of digital design technologies. I've known Evan for almost a decade now, and he's always looking ahead, always looking into the future. He has a passion for technology and is constantly asking, what's next, and how what's next can be applied to improve the way we design and construct our built environment. And so I invited Evan here today to this special episode to talk about something really special, something very exciting, something that we've been working on for a long time, and Evan has been working on for a long time, the Troxel Podcast. It's a new podcast that is Evan Troxel's own project, and it's really exciting. And I just wanted to invite you here, Evan, today to just sort of give people a little bit of a teaser, a little background about what's happening over at Troxel Podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited. And like you said, this has been, in the works for quite a while. And there's a lot that goes into making something like this. And as we talked about on the last time that you and I chatted, I think that was on EA 321, if I remember correctly. Yep. But that, we talk about how technology is changing the architectural profession. And that's really what this podcast is about. And so through the many years and the connections and being online and just putting ourselves out there, I think these connections have evolved and been established and then evolved. And through that, we've grown some really great, friendships with people who are in the industry and who are leading the change in that evolution within the industry. And to me, it's just really important to get that message out there so that our whole profession can move forward together. And I really don't like the idea of companies and firms and architects keeping this stuff real black box, because I don't think that it serves the greater good of our profession being here in the future. And so really this is about having those kind of long form conversations and getting into the weeds and really just going down what is happening, getting into what is happening inside the architectural profession because of the evolution of technology. Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about that.
So you're going to talk about technology. That's sort of the theme of the podcast is technology, right? And so you're going to talk about technology that's happening today and potentially what's happening, what's coming, right? The future.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And the people who are making that happen, the people who are thinking about that, and our goal really, I think, is it's not just to talk within the echo chamber of that group of people. It's really to get outside of that and make people aware of what's going on and why it's important. Because what's interesting to me is to watch the shift of how architecture as a profession has really just continued to reinvent the pencil in many ways. And now, especially now, there is some incredible stuff happening, which is completely changing. Instead of an evolution, it's more revolutionary type stuff that we're talking about. And the people that I'm not interviewing, but having conversations with on this podcast really are at the right there on that bleeding edge. And they're the ones kind of going through that whole process to make it happen so that other people can benefit from those new changes.
It's not really an interview show, right? It's more of a conversation. You just said so. Talking a little bit about the format and what you expect to do over there.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that I've really found to be missing from, and I guess Archispeak was the first place where this really happened for me, where we got the feedback on Archispeak that thanks for just talking about what it's like to be an architect. And this show is not that different from that. Like you said, it's not an interview show, even though I plan on having a lot of different guests. I'm hoping that we'll have a lot of returning guests where that conversation will just continue to evolve or open up into new avenues over time. And the idea there is to have these long form conversations. Podcasting is great for that. What's really interesting now is there's not even anybody commuting. So I don't know how people are fitting their podcasting in, but they're probably listening while they're doing dishes. They're probably listening while they're out walking the dog or on a bike ride or something like that. And, we just let the conversation go wherever it goes, because I think that's when you really start to tease out the nuance and no one's trying to stay on message. And to me, it's really more like our listeners are just going to be present in the room as this conversation happens. And I think in so many instances, kind of like somebody might develop within an architectural firm just by overhearing all the great conversations that happen and they learn through osmosis. I'm really hoping to bring that to podcasting, bring that to architecture and technology with this show.
So it's definitely a show that architects and design professionals who love technology will love. Do you think that people, laymen like me, who I appreciate technology, I use technology, I don't always understand everything that's happening, or especially things that are happening in the future. Do you think the regular everyday architect's going to be able to follow along?
Yeah, because there's no way to actually keep it totally on topic when you've got long form conversation that just goes down and you tease things out, right? So there's going to be so many nuanced things that are spoken about, like for instance, some of the initial episodes that we've already recorded. We've got Ian Keogh, who's the father of Dynamo, who is a whole visual scripting language for Revit. And did Ian and I just talk about the things that he's worked on previously or the things that he's doing now? No, we talked about how he likes to go running as well, right?
Yeah,
we're trying to just make it about the people as much as we're trying to make it about architecture and technology. And so one of the other episodes is with Randy Deutsch, and Randy is a professor. And so we're talking about education, and we talk about writing, and we talk about books and blogs and podcasts, right? So I think there's something in this for a lot of different people, and you don't have to be a technologist in any form to really just enjoy these conversations that happen. And I think you said it the last time we got together. It's like you could talk to me all day about this stuff. And that really was the genesis of kind of where this all came from is, well, why don't we do that then? Right? Why don't we talk about this stuff? And there was even feedback on that episode who said, I could listen to you two talk about this all the time. And really, to me, that was really reassuring to me that we had something here. And so I've just taken that and run with it. And so I really, thanks to you and thanks to some of our listeners who have really kind of pushed in that direction to make this happen, I'm super excited about it. I think, it's one more thing to do, but I think it's a really important thing to do. And so, I'm excited to jump into this both feet and see where it goes.
Why do it? That's let me expand on that question, because clearly it's an important topic and it's something that is going to find a very passionate listenership. But you are doing so many. The introduction that I just gave to you is you were doing so many things. Why do a podcast like this, and what are your goals? What are you hoping to accomplish with it?
Well, so why do it? I feel like long form conversations are important to have, and this medium is perfect for it because people do have found time to listen to things like this and learn something while they're doing it. So really, like, I like to share everything that I know, and I feel like this is a great way to do that. And so one of the other reasons I'm doing it is because it's really easy for me to do this. It doesn't take an extraordinary amount of time to record an hour and a half long show and then put that out there for everybody to listen to. It can happen anytime. It can happen in the middle of the night if it has to. It can happen on the weekend if it has to. And it's actually not difficult to make it happen. So I really felt like all the pieces were there to just make it happen. And what I'm really trying to get, one of my big goals for the show is to expose information to people. Again, like going back to that idea of black box architecture and secret sauce and intellectual property, and firms have operated under those ideas for a long time. And that is completely changing right now. And so to me, if we're going to bring this whole profession forward, if we're going to have a profession in the future, I want as many people to be on that boat as possible. And so I want people to be in the know. I want them to know what's going on. I want them to be able to see what's coming so that they can make a decision about what's best for them to get on board. And how much do they want to get on board? How much do they want to invest in this kind of stuff? Where do they see their practices going? And if we can provide insight into where the profession is going, where the underpinnings of the profession are going from a technology standpoint, again, we're not trying to do it all here, then we're going to arm people with information that they can then make great decisions on what they want to do with their practice. So I feel like we're all in this together. We are all architects. We are all in this profession that we love. More information is a good thing. The internet makes that possible. So that's what the show is all about.
Evan Troxel, the Troxel Podcast. If you're looking for it, it's going to be spelled out TRXL. That's his, I guess that's your tag, right? You've been using Troxel for a long time, TRXL.
It's the name without the vowels. Yeah, those vowels, just extraneous internet vowels that we didn't need anymore. So
I love it. It's the Troxel Podcast. You can listen and subscribe right now at GāblMedia.com. That's GABL Media.com. Evan, it's always fun and interesting to talk to you. I'm always inspired by you. And I love the idea that you now have a platform where you can dive deeper into all those interesting topics that you always have for us, whether it's on Archispeak or whether it's on your YouTube channel or in your books. You are always sharing your knowledge, and I appreciate you for doing that in this new podcast and here today at this special episode of EntreArchitect Podcast.
Thanks, man. I mean, this obviously, you had a big piece in this, and I feel like Gābl Media and you and my conversations that we've had about this over many times now have been truly inspiring as well. And that confidence that you've kind of instilled in me to take this and do something with it has definitely been a huge factor. So thank you so much for helping make this happen. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Evan. So go there right now, GāblMedia.com, GABL Media.com, or search for Troxel Podcast. That's TRXL Podcast. Troxel Podcast on your favorite platform for listening to your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify. It's all there. I'll be back in your feed on Friday with the next regular episode of EntreArchitect Podcast. So until then, go subscribe to Troxel and listen. There are a couple of episodes right now waiting for you. The Troxel Podcast at GāblMedia.com. Love, learn, and share what you know.
Imagine earning continuing education credits while doing exactly what you're doing right now. Well, you can. Gābl Media has revolutionized the way you earn your continuing education credits with a groundbreaking approach. Forget running around town and scouring the internet for credit-worthy courses. Fulfill your CE requirements effortlessly by listening to engaging podcasts just like the one you're listening to now. Our podcasts are designed to educate, entertain, and inspire, all in a user-friendly environment. But wait, there's more. Architects, Gābl Media is also approved as an AIA continuing education services provider. Upon completion, we handle everything, from reporting your hours directly to the AIA to storing your certificates in your personal Gābl Media profile for your self-reporting needs. So follow the link in the show notes and start earning your credits in the most innovative and entertaining way possible with Gābl Media.
Attention architects and creative minds, get ready to supercharge your brand with Build Your Brand, the podcast that's unlocking the secrets of branding success for creatives. Hey there, it's Mark R. LePage, founder of EntreArchitect, and I'm inviting you to join my friend, architect marketing expert Jeff Eccles at Build Your Brand podcast, where he explores the captivating stories of the world's top brands and transforms their lessons into powerful moves for small firm architects and creatives like you. In Season 1, Jeff shares the thrilling tale of Southwest Airlines, where he dissects their journey to the summit and distills it into strategies tailor-made for you.
It's important to keep in mind that companies like Southwest compete in the real world, just like you, and face real-world challenges, just like you. You might be surprised at how similar those challenges are to the struggles that you grapple with on a day-to-day basis.
Don't miss out on your blueprint for success. Subscribe, tune in, and let's build your brand together.
You may have noticed that the very best brands in the world are also known for having somewhat unique corporate cultures. That's often the glue that holds everything together when they encounter those rough spots.
We don't do it because it inconveniences the passengers to whom we are primarily dedicated, the short haul, frequent flyer.
Follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Your Brand today. Remember, no matter the size, the journey's the same. Your brand's journey to the top starts here.